3, 2, 1.
Here we are for Lawnchair Sports Podcast.
Lawnchair Sports Podcast. So let me tell you all the story behind that, right?
Here we go.
This is an original idea. We didn't really rip it off of anybody or anything like that.
Not at all.
But whenever we picked it and we got our logo making buddy, Chris Vargas, shout out to him. He did a little bit of homework and put the name in and saw that somebody had already taken it. And so we looked to see when the last time they put something out, and it was March of this year.
Yeah, they're not legit.
So we said, fuck them, and we're going to steal the name Lawnchair Sports. Or actually, ours is a little different because it's the Snake Pit
presents Lawnchair Sports Podcast, which will be another
offshoot,
another rendition of Snake Pit Studios, our fourth one. And like you had said previously, this is one you're more comfortable talking about. You know this. I watch sports. I played sports. I'm into sports. I wouldn't say now. I don't know how I feel about sports in the culture it is now, but I like to watch people perform at a high level, at the highest level.
Yeah, so
I appreciate that.
Since you bring up culture, that's one thing that I could say. I'm very passionate and well versed in the culture of sports here in America, and that's why this is so exciting, because I feel like at any point I can fucking bring up any of these sports related topics and just go on and on and on, because it's exciting, right? So for me, what makes me passionate about sports is the effect it had on my life, but also just knowing so many people, like the relationships that you make through sports, the life lessons that you learn through sports.
Yeah, it truly is. That's what I've noticed as I've gotten older, is the lessons. Well, I played baseball. I come from a baseball family. What that installed in me. I've always said that on the other podcasts. Two of the biggest lessons I've learned in baseball were, because especially in baseball, because it's a 162 game season, you're going to go play 9 months of the year. You're going to go through divorce. You're going to go through sickness, through health, through death, through everything. And you have to show up and be professional every day. And I've learned that, no matter what's happening out in the outside world, we have 4 fucking podcasts. You can't bring that into this. For sure. It fucking shows. And even if you just have a regular job that you are just doing to get by, you can't just bring that into work.
Not in showbiz.
I don't think so. And I learned also,
for sure,
in baseball, you have to have a short memory. And that's another thing. Like, yesterday was a good day or a bad day. It doesn't matter. Today's a different day.
Yeah.
Those are 2 huge lessons I learned in sports.
Well, and see,
that have lived with me today,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's because what does it do? Ultimately, it affects your performance.
Yeah.
And so whether you want to see it or not, every day is a performance, whether you're on a field and you're competing against other people or not. How well did you handle yourself in that meeting? How well did you deal with a difficult situation that was presented to you randomly, right? So how did you perform?
There you go, man.
And if you're stuck in your head thinking about the last mistake you made, then you're not going to be able to perform. You can learn that through sports. I agree.
And then another thing about this is we're still trying to iron out what we want to do. This kind of has segments that we're going to run through. But if anything, I think it'll just be fun to
it's fun to be creative.
Our view on what we think. Yeah, because none of us have a collegiate or a professional background in any of these sports that we're going to talk about. Nope. So it'll be just us hopefully it's us pulling from our other podcasts into this one and other people. And then in Lubbock, Lubbock's ran by Texas Tech, and a majority of people are Cowboy fans and fucking Chiefs fans because of Texas Tech.
Yep.
So I love it.
So yeah, and we're going to cater to the audience, Whatever we get responses on, the interaction that we get, we're going to cater to the people who are listening, and we're going to give our opinions and our commentary. We're going to pull heavily from on relevant stuff.
A certain media empire that you can probably guess right off the back who it is. I'm not going to mention it, but we're going to pull from them, from a few other things. We're going to have segments.
We're staging a takeover.
Yeah, we're going to be posting a lot different segments on TikTok. just different areas that are fun in our life, I guess, and where the money is, I guess, too.
Yeah.
The money's at certain areas of this
And
world.
we're going to do what's fun.
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Right. And so, we're going to have a little bit of a format. This is right now, this is a little different because we're giving you guys a bit of an introduction here. But each week we're going to have a steady format that we follow. That's going to begin with a follow-up and a recap of all the shit that we talked the week before in terms of picks and bets and things like that. So I was thinking about a bet that Roy and I can make, because I told him it would be cool if every episode we make a bet. And there's consequences to the bet for the loser, right? And that's really the only prize, is that you don't have to do whatever the consequences are. So for this week, I decided the consequences will be push-ups until failure.
Alrighty.
So if I said 25, that's too easy. So we'll go until failure, and then we'll have a number, and you'll know how many push-ups you could do before you stop.
I think you should just before I don't think one stop should stop you. I think you should go until you like legitimately can't go no more, because you might be able to.
I'm saying until you collapse.
Yes, because you can get up, take a little bit of a break, get up.
Okay.
And keep going until you like David Goggins type.
So should we put a time limit on it rather than a number? You have to do push-ups for 2 minutes straight.
That might be better.
Okay.
Or until you can't.
Okay.
2 minutes straight.
So that's what the bet's going to be. We haven't decided which game. So This is what we should do. We should pick either the Thursday night game or the Sunday night game to bet on. Okay. Whichever one is most popping. This week it's Thursday night.
This week is the Chiefs and the Chargers. But I feel like we have
to do like an over under.
I feel like we have the same pick. Or who are you going to go for?
Obviously the Chiefs.
So we're going to go. So we can go with the Sunday night. Or no, you know what we should do? We should do Monday night, Titans versus Bills.
There you go.
Because I'm going for the Titans.
You're going for the Titans?
I'm going for Mr. Ryan Tannehill, my boy.
Okay.
Big Spring native.
I'll take the Bills.
I like the Bills too, but I want Derrick Henry and Tannehill to win.
All right, so you heard it here, folks. Okay, do you want to... Well, because I feel like the Bills are going in with a pretty big advantage. If we're looking at the odds, I'm going to assume that the Bills are heavily favored, right? So do you want to throw in like a little over-under?
Can you explain to me this? I never understood this.
Basically, if I say, okay, the Bills by 6, that means they have to win by at least 6 points, or I lose the bet.
Or you lose?
Yeah. I'll give you 6.
Okay.
I think the Bills win by 6 points or more.
By 6?
No.
You do.
They have to either win the game or lose by less than 6.
See, okay, then I think okay, that's fair, because the Titans should just win. Because that's fair?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there you go. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm going for the hometown. He's kind of an hometown. Nobody really talks about him the way
Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, they don't talk about him the way Mahomes is. But Mahomes isn't even from this area. You know, what do you think?
So where's Tannehill from?
Big Springs.
Big Springs fairly close to Lubbock. It's about 3 hours away. 3.5 hours.
His granddaddy taught my mom how to drive. Like I guess
wow.
in post, driver's ed was part of your like course in school. Was that the way it was for you?
Yep.
Yeah. So he was a teacher of that. Tannehills are big around here. I didn't know that until recently, but yeah, I'm going for the Titans.
And then he played for Texas A&M, correct?
Yeah, I think he was a wide receiver. He wasn't even a quarterback.
Pretty sure he was a QB.
Nah.
Ryan Tannehill played QB at Texas A&M, and he was a crazy motherfucker. You know what my best Ryan Tannehill memory is? And I had to have been pretty young. I remember watching Ryan Tannehill throw an interception and then go and get the tackle, and he hit the guy who intercepted the ball so hard he got a concussion, knocked himself out of the game.
Goddamn.
Ryan Tannehill. That's my Ryan Tannehill.
I know.
Memory. There he is, QB, son.
6'4", 220, Big Springs.
Nice.
Let's see, freshman year. He was battling with he led in both receptions.
He caught 5 passes for 104 yards and a touchdown against Texas Tech when he was a freshman. Okay, so he started as a receiver.
He started as a receiver because I think the quarterback before him was...
That's cool. So he's an all-around football player.
Yeah.
And I respect that because coming from a small school, you know, we were expected to play both ways and special teams. So if you were good, you didn't come off the field, no. You did every aspect of the game. So that's cool.
Yep.
So, yeah, but I don't think that Ryan Tannehill should be as respected as Patty Pat.
Well, clearly not. I mean, Mahomes is...
He's the man.
If he like, God forbid anything happens to him, if he continues the way he's playing, he's going to be a Tom Brady. Yeah. Eventually.
Oh, for sure. He'll surpass him.
He'll probably have 5-6 Super Bowls at least.
Imagine if he played until he was 45 like Tom.
Imagine like if he has a good, healthy career with a good, healthy team, he'll go 5 Super Bowls. I don't know how many he'll lose. Mm-hmm. I think he'll win 5. At least 5.
All right. Well, let's get on to our picks, and we'll start with this game right here.
Chiefs and the Chargers, Thursday night. Today's Thursday as we're recording.
Yep.
Right before this game. I wasn't aware of how good of a... Because I watched a little bit of the Chargers game last week. Bosa. Both him and his fucking brother
Nick Bosa
are insane. Insane.
So Nick is on the Chargers, right?
I think so.
And what's the brother's name? Joey?
Yeah.
Joey's on the Niners?
The Niners, yeah, Nick Bosa's on the Niners.
Nick Bosa's on the Niners. Joey's on the Chargers.
On the Chargers.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're both defensive ends, and they're both insane.
That's awesome.
And Hubert, how do you say his name?
I think it's Herbert.
Herbert?
Justin Herbert, maybe?
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
He's
Okay, so it's going to come down to that Chargers defensive line against the Kansas City offensive line. And Kansas City has a pretty good offensive line.
Yeah, in this instance, I don't think you can beat the Chiefs offense.
Okay.
So even without Tyreek Hill,
how many
they still
touchdowns?
pulled up 44 fucking points.
How many touchdowns are they going to beat the Chargers by, in your opinion?
I say it's like 40s. Chiefs are in their 40s and the Chargers in the 30s.
So give us a score.
45-31.
45.
I say 2 touchdowns. I say Hubert's too young, throws a few interceptions, a few miscalculations.
All right, I'm going to say Chiefs 28, Chargers 14. I think it'll be a little closer. But we'll see. Isn't it the opening game in Arrowhead Stadium?
I believe so, yeah, because they were in Arizona last week.
Yeah, and they beat the shit out of Arizona last week. Patty Pat threw for 5 TDs.
Another segment we'll talk about in a few, but fucked up my fantasy.
Oh, yeah?
I have Mahomes on one end in one league and then Murray on the other.
Oh, okay.
So Mahomes did good for one team and then fucking Murray shitted the bed on the other.
He shit the bed fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
So who's our next game?
Steelers versus Pats.
Okay, Steelers and the Patriots. So the Steelers had a really close game with Cincinnati last week. And I think it went into overtime, actually. And one thing I noticed is that the Steelers defense... Okay, Joe Burrow gets sacked a lot. Last year, he got sacked a ton of times. And the Steelers defense, I'm pretty sure they sacked him like 8 or 9
He got
times.
hurt, right? His freshman year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rookie season. I'm pretty sure
rookie season.
that the Steelers sacked him like almost 10 times last week.
Yeah, Steelers 1-0 and Patriots are 0-1.
So the Steelers have a really good pass rush.
I think the Patriots shit the bed last week.
Against the Miami Dolphins. Yeah.
Bill Belichick's on the decline.
Yeah, he really...
Because they had that 1-4.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they lost their starting quarterback.
He got hurt?
Maybe.
What's that kid's name?
Jones?
Mac Jones.
He's an Alabama kid,
It's
right?
crazy. Like, have you ever seen that picture of Jalen Hurts, Mac Jones, and Tua from fucking...
You should put in week 1 injuries in NFL.
Let's go.
You're saying whenever they were all at Alabama?
Yeah, man. They were all... They were all
4-star recruits.
One after the other. Yeah, I need to go to Google.
So Patriots and
Steelers. Who do you got?
Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
That's who I picked.
And I'm going to say the Steelers are going to shut out the Patriots. And it's going to be 23-0. Najee Harris is my running back on my fantasy team, and he got injured. And they don't know if he's going to play or not. But like you said, that's another segment.
Okay, we have...
So what's your prediction, though, for that score?
Steelers win. I don't really...
You don't know about how much?
I didn't really watch too much of... I just know it's probably...
So they have Mitch Trubisky playing QB now that Roethlisberger's gone. And he seems to just be like kind of a game manager. He just needs to hand the ball off and let Najee run it up the middle. But if Najee's hurt... Could be interesting. What's our next game?
Panthers and Giants.
The Panthers and the Giants. So those are two teams that I really didn't get to see much last week. I know that Baker Mayfield's playing for the Panthers. Shout out to Baker Mayfield,
it's hard
dude.
for me to root for them, but I think they're going to beat the Giants.
Because of Baker?
I don't want to root for the Giants, though.
Because of Baker? You don't like Baker?
Not really.
All right, let's go down this this tangent right here, okay? Because this is a good one. Because a lot of people hate Baker.
I think if he shut the fuck up and played, he'd be really good. He's too worried about bullshit.
This is why I like Baker. Okay, Baker walked on at Tech, and he started a few games.
Was he competing with Mahomes?
Yeah,
it was under Cliff.
But I think Mahomes was out for a little bit. He was injured or something. Right, with Cliff Kingsbury. And so Baker proved himself. Like, he walked on and then became the starting quarterback, won a few games, and Pat came back, and so Baker got the cold shoulder from Cliff. And then he goes to OU, which is a much better football school
They're
than Texas
very
Tech.
high ranked.
Yeah, right. And then he walks on over there, becomes their starting quarterback, and then wins the Heisman.
Won the Heisman.
So I'm sorry, but I have to admire Baker for all that he's done.
Well, look at it from the NFL standpoint.
He's a cold white boy.
I'm not denying that.
But in the NFL, I mean, he ran off on the Browns, and he cried about getting traded. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I can't believe the Browns drafted that fucking
the Heisman Trophy winner.
That weirdo.
Why is he a weirdo?
Touching women and shit.
He touched a woman?
28 allegations. You can't beat 28 allegations.
Baker? You're talking about Deshaun Watson.
I can't believe they traded Baker for Deshaun Watson.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
They traded Baker for Deshaun Watson.
I'm sure Baker's actually a really cool guy. He seems like a fun guy to hang out with. Just think he's a whiny baby. I've always thought that since he left Tech.
Okay.
So, but he's good. He just...
I like him. He's always had a chip on his shoulder because he's always had to prove himself. Yeah. So...
his skill's there.
I love you, Baker. I love you, Baker.
So, Pat, I have the Panthers over the Giants. I can't root for the Giants. Okay. The Giants suck anyways. That fucking quarterback...
Who's their quarterback?
Who is their quarterback? That bitch.
Is it Jones?
Jones.
Something Jones.
What does it say it at? Does it even say it?
The Giants. Yeah, so Saquon Barkley came back after 2 injuries the past 2 seasons, and he smashed last week. So it's going to be Saquon versus Carolina defense. I think Carolina has a decent defense. Scroll to the top. It says that their offense is ranked 28th overall.
The Giants have a 9th ranked offense. Wow.
The Giants have the number 1 ranked defense.
It's just based off not allowing any points because I think they played a shit team last week.
Yeah.
So look at the passing though.
So they're 29th in passing, but they're number 1 in rushing. So, that's after week 1.
I had some off if you need it.
Oh, it's good. They already got me.
They're eating your ass up.
You got one on the side of your head. Dude,
right You're going to be able to get me through this thick ass shirt. Hell yeah. So
yeah, I'm going to say...
I got Panthers. I got Baker doing some...
I'm going to go with the Giants by a touchdown. I'm going to say the score is going to be 14-34. And I'm going to say Saquon's going to run for about 150 yards, 3 touchdowns.
I'm sure he'll do very good. We have the Browns and the Jets. That's a bullshit game.
That is a bullshit game. The Browns and the Jets.
Yeah, I picked the Browns.
So who... you probably don't know, but who the fuck is the Browns quarterback right now? Is it Brissett? Jacoby Brissett? I think so. And then for the Jets, who do they have?
The Jets have that fool that was sleeping with his mom's friend. I don't remember his name.
He was sleeping with his mom's friend?
Yeah.
He's in the MILFs. He's the one they're always making fun of. Yeah. The Browns and the Jets is a caca game.
They got Flacco? Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback for the Jets.
I guess he got beat by...
I think the other guy's hurt.
Yeah.
So the Jets have a rookie running back who was supposed to be pretty good. He's from Iowa State, but he didn't do too well last week. The Browns have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the backfield. The Browns also have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
No wonder why they have number 2 ranked.
And there you go.
Those two fools.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Browns by 2 touchdowns. I'll say...
Yeah, I guess since they have really good rushing, I'll go with the Browns.
35-12.
I'll go 28-14 Browns. Next, we have...
we're going to keep track of who's right and who's wrong.
Colts versus Jags.
What if we were right for so many weeks, you're just undefeated with all your picks?
I'll have to go with, because I know the Jaguars suck dick, I'll go with the Colts.
Yeah, Colts versus Jags.
I watched that game. That was an interesting game with the Texans.
I'm going to go with the Colts. They got Jonathan Taylor at running back, and they have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. The Jaguars are the Jaguars. They've sucked for a really long time. So, yeah, the Colts are going to win by 3 touchdowns. Was that our last one right there? Oh, we got Miami.
No, we got way more. Ravens versus Dolphins.
We'll go a little faster. Ravens versus Dolphins, definitely the Ravens.
I got the Ravens. I like what's his name? Lamar Jackson. Bucks over. This is I said Bucks over the Saints. Bucks versus the Saints.
Bucks versus the Saints. I got the
Buccaneers.
You're going with the Bucks?
Yeah, I am.
All right. To be different, I'll go with the Saints. They have a really good defense, and they always give Tom Brady fits.
What's his name?
Who?
Who's the quarterback?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I can say his name. Yeah, that guy.
And he's surprisingly good this year. Jameis Winston is a trip. He's funny in his interviews.
Yeah, I saw that interview. We got the Commanders versus the Lions.
Oh man, this is a good one. I'm actually kind of invested in this because I watched the Lions on Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is an HBO series.
Yeah,
dude, these mosquitoes are swarming. This is crazy how many mosquitoes are in here. I'm gonna go with the Commanders.
Commanders versus Lions, and I didn't know Carson Wentz was
the Commanders quarterback.
Commander, bro.
Yeah, he got traded, man.
He might actually do well.
The Commanders are kind of interesting to me. I don't really have a team that I'm in love with in the NFL, and I've been this way for many years now. I'm such a football fan that I like watching all these guys compete.
That's how I am about baseball.
And it makes it really fun. It makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
So the Commanders, they have this wide receiver named Terry McLaurin. They call him Scary Terry. And he's a fucking beast, man. He's made some of the best catches that I've ever seen. And that makes it interesting to watch, So there's certain you gotta key in on these dynamic, exciting players that are on each team. And that makes watching NFL football a lot more interesting because you're not just worried about specific games with certain teams. So I think the Commanders are going to beat the Lions, but I like the Lions. They have this new head coach. The fuck is his name? I'm going blank now.
Who's their quarterback?
But he's a big guy. He used to play in the NFL. The Lions quarterback's Jeff Goff. He got traded from the Rams. DeAndre Swift, he's a really good running back.
Goff got fucked in that deal, huh?
Think so?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, okay. So
yeah, they traded him straight up for Matthew Stafford, and Stafford won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the Lions probably won like 3 games last year.
That's after he took him to the Super Bowl, didn't he? And he lost.
What do you mean, who?
Goff.
Did he?
He took them.
Oh, okay.
The Rams, and that's when they lost to the
Patriots.
I
forgot about that.
So then we have 49ers versus Seahawks.
49ers and the Seahawks. So the Seahawks showed that they have a really good defense last week.
And Geno Smith,
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people were pleasantly surprised with his performance.
Niners also have Bosa.
Geno Smith, his average passing attempt is like 7 yards. And he threw the ball a lot. Yeah, he doesn't throw the ball down the field.
He never threw an interception in college until he came to Tech. I remember watching that game.
He played for West Virginia.
He was like a Heisman ranked quarterback.
Yeah.
They were like top 10 in the fucking nation at one point.
We beat him, right?
We beat him. I was at that game. It's crazy. We have Falcons over. I said.
Oh no, we didn't pick though. We didn't pick.
I said the Hawks. I like Geno Smith.
Oh, you got the Seahawks, Geno Smith. I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Yeah, Trey Lance, there's a lot of hype behind him. This is supposed to be his breakout season. he kind of shit the bed in week 1, so he's looking to bounce back. Let's see what happens. It's a home game for San Francisco.
So we have the Falcons over. I keep reading it like that. Falcons versus the Rams.
The Falcons versus the Rams.
They didn't really do too well last week.
Yeah, the Rams
kind of sucked. They held Aaron McDonald. Was that his name?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald did nothing. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, they're probably double teaming him the whole time. That's a good matchup. I'm going to go with Atlanta.
Who did they play? Me too. Who did they play last week?
Oh, the Rams. They got the shit beat out of them by the Chargers, didn't they? Or no.
Who was it? Oh, it was the Bills.
The Bills.
And they exposed them they exposed them very big.
The Bills are looking like Super Bowl champions right now.
The Bills exposed a big weakness in and what the Rams are. Well, while they're coming here, I'm gonna go get the fucking laptop charger.
Go.
Fire. I remember when it was either right as the season was starting, like a couple days before, 5 people had predicted the Bills 5 analysis.
To lose?
No, the Bills were going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Even Michael Irvin said the Bills were going to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought the Bills were going to beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
That's what he said.
Get out of here with that.
But Josh Allen's looking fucking for revenge.
He's a beast.
After what the fuck happened to him last year. So who was that?
So that was the Atlanta and the Rams. So who's your pick?
Atlanta. I want Atlanta to win.
Yeah, I got Atlanta also.
Let's see. We have the Cards versus the Raiders.
I'm going with the Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals will pull it out. We have Texans versus the Broncos.
Texans and Broncos. Yeah, so the Texans kind of suck too. I watched them last week and
Russell Wilson.
It's like they got this rookie running back that was supposed to be good. I drafted him in fantasy.
That's what I heard.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do shit.
Pierce. So that's one of them kind of shitty games. Oh no, Houston and Denver. I thought you said Houston and Raiders.
No.
No.
I said Texans versus the Broncos.
Oh, okay. I got off track.
Wait, where were we? No, yeah. Sorry, no. Cardinals versus the Raiders.
Cardinals and Raiders. Okay, yeah. I said I got the Cardinals.
Yeah, and then we went over, and then I moved over to the Texans versus the Broncos. My fault. Yeah. So who do you got with the Texans and the Broncos?
Texans and the Broncos. I'm gonna go with Houston. Who do you got with Arizona and Las Vegas? Cardinals also.
And I got Houston winning over Denver.
Okay.
Then we have the good old Dallas Cowboys versus the Bengals.
This is going to be my upset pick. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
I said Cowboys too.
Did you really?
Yeah. Who's their backup?
Let's say upset picks are worth 2 points. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go with the Falcons beating the Rams as an upset.
The Falcons beating the Rams as an upset.
That's my upset pick.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys winning. Who's quarterback for the Cowboys?
His name's Cooper Rush, and apparently they had cut him and they went and re-signed him this offseason.
They need to pick up somebody, man. We have Packers. This is prime time. Packers versus Bears.
Man, I got to go with the Packers. My boy Aaron Rodgers needs to bounce back after last week.
Yeah. He wasn't too happy.
He's having a bad time, but he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to.
Yeah, I got the Packers though too. And then we have our bet, Titans versus the Bills. This is Monday Night Football.
Yep, and I'm going with the Bills for sure by at least 6 points.
I think I'm fucked on this one. Josh Allen's looking mighty good, man.
Yeah, who's Tennessee's quarterback right now?
Tannehill.
Oh, Tannehill. Okay.
So then we have another Monday night game with the Vikings versus the Eagles. And I picked I had initially said the Vikings, but I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Eagles also.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. And that's
going to be a really good game, honestly.
That's our picks, our bets, and our bold predictions for the fucking... That's
on ESPN. So Minnesota and Philadelphia. Have you watched either one of those teams play this season?
No, I didn't watch either of those games. Was Kirk Cousins...
Kirk Cousins is doing pretty well.
Vikings?
Yeah, he's got Justin Jefferson.
He kind of reminds me of like Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's kind of like he's either really good or he fucking sucks ass.
I wouldn't say Fitzpatrick.
I mean, he's just...
But yeah, he's kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is doing pretty good for the Eagles.
As much as I hate the Eagles, I like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And they got A.J. Brown from the Titans.
I didn't know that. I was listening. Yeah. I didn't know that. Damn.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's our picks for the fucking... do you want to do We got the picks. We got the bets.
Okay, let's go with the fights. The UFC and the boxing matches that are coming up.
Let's see, UFC 280.
So UFC 280, in my opinion, is the best card possibly ever. If the fights play out how they look like they're going to on paper, this could be one of the best UFCs ever.
So we have...
And this is on Saturday, October 22nd.
You missed.
And, we don't got to pick yet because that's still a ways out.
Well, who do you got? Who do you have? I thought this was this weekend. Oh, no, the Canelo fight.
The Canelo fight's this weekend.
So,
all right, so let's pull that one up. Canelo versus Triple G, and this is their third fight. I'm not sure.
Can you give me some history on the first two fights?
So to be honest with you, I know Canelo has won. I think he won both of them.
Yeah,
right?
Because I was kind of doing some research, and there was.
But they were both really close fights.
There was some fucking controversy over
in both of them.
There was a draw, and some people say there wasn't.
Right. Yeah, they did declare one of them a draw.
I'll say my first. Golovkin. We went to Chris's house to watch the Canelo Bivol, whatever his name is. Fucking Russian. And that was the very first time I even watched really boxing other than Mike Tyson.
Okay.
And he was very frustrated. He was very pissed. You could see him.
Golovkin?
No.
Canelo?
Canelo versus that Bivol dude.
Oh, gotcha.
That was the only fight I ever... Well, to be fair, Jake Paul got me into boxing.
Whoa, I don't know if I would say that. I'm just kidding.
We'll get into that one too, but...
That's interesting.
No, he got me into boxing.
Wow.
He beat up that little dude from the Knicks, Nate Robinson.
Nice.
Me and Jim went over to Chris's to watch Canelo and that Russian, and...
Well, and the Russian beat him.
And he beat him, and...
he was bigger. He's too big.
He was too big, and Canelo was very frustrated at the end. He just couldn't get him.
Yeah.
And then
he had really good defense.
But you could see that fucking Russian arm was just fucking annihilated.
Oh,
towards
right.
the end of the fight, he just killed the Russian's arm.
Yeah.
And so I don't have any knowledge into boxing. I know I heard Canelo went vegan and he lost. So
wow, that's interesting.
Canelo's 61-2-2, while Triple G's 42-1-1. So that's this weekend. Just out of respect for the people down south, I'll say Canelo wins.
Me too. Got to go with Canelo. Yeah. And I think that he's got more of a fire under his ass based on his last performance and everything that happened with that. That's this weekend, correct?
Yeah, this coming weekend, this Saturday.
That's going to be a good one. I'll be watching.
The 17th.
And I don't know if there's anything good on that undercard. Let me see. No.
No.
I don't think so.
So no, we had so that'll be an interesting one to talk about. I picked Kel, you did too. And then the UFC, I didn't realize that was so far away.
Yeah, that's fine.
I like O'Malley. I'm a real big fan of him.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I don't like those bad boys over there in Dagestan, so I hope they lose.
Exactly.
Nothing against them. They just...
The Russians, the Dagestanis.
I like little Hezbollah, don't get me wrong.
Hezbollah.
I love Hezbollah, man. That's my guy, but I don't want you guys to win. And we'll have another segment in a few so I can talk about the other evil idiot.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the past UFC that just happened. It was supposed to be Nate Diaz versus Kamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy that went down this past weekend.
He's also Dagestanian too, right?
I don't know if he's from Dagestan or if he's from Russia.
He looks like it.
He looks like it.
So apparently, I'm not that invested in UFC as you are, but from my point of view is nobody can touch this guy. He's a
beast. I think
he's unstoppable.
I think there's a couple guys that can beat him at the top of the division.
Do you think Nate would have beat him?
No. Nate wouldn't have beat him. Nate was getting fed to the wolves in that situation. So the only reason,
sort of out of spite.
Yeah, the UFC was spiting Nate Diaz.
This is his last fight in this contract.
The last fight on his contract. They don't want him to go. They've been ripping Nate Diaz off since the beginning of his career. And basically they were like, okay, well, fuck you, Nate. Go fight Kamzat because nobody else wants to. And Nate, being the gangster that he is like, okay, whatever. I'll go fight Kamzat. So there's all this drama, everything comes down to it, and Kamzat can't make the weight. It's a 170-pound weight limit. Kamzat probably walks around at like 200 pounds at least.
God damn.
Yep. And he says that the doctor told him to stop cutting weight. It's probably true. And then the whole card got shuffled around, right? So in my opinion, the whole UFC card turned out a lot better than it was going to be. That's why there are conspiracies, people saying, well, they did this because it wasn't going to sell pay-per-views. That could be true. Who knows? But I know that...
Fuck you, Brendan Schaub.
We got what we wanted as fans because we got to see Tony Ferguson kind of hold his own and come back a little bit better. His last 3 performances, or his last 2, were pretty brutal. We got to see Nate do his thing and come out with the win and ride off into the sunset. The Kamzat fight went how we thought it was going to go, but, apparently Kamzat and the guy he ended up fighting, they were talking a lot of shit that whole week. So they got to settle their beef. And then...
Sucks he got beat.
The guy from China who fought Daniel Rodriguez actually beat him. He was fighting up a weight class and fighting a different opponent. He ended up winning, but he got robbed of the decision. So that's the recap for the past UFC event.
That Kamzat fella was screaming Allah Akbar and shit.
Was he really?
Flipping off people and shit.
Oh, yeah. He's been going crazy. Yeah, he doesn't hold back, and he doesn't speak a lot of English, so he's just very aggressive towards everybody, and he tries to start shit with everybody, apparently.
It's crazy.
Who knows? But I saw something like he's under investigation for an assault or something.
Throw his ass in jail. That's all I have to say.
Just because he's Russian?
No,
or Dagestani?
It's the fact that I ain't even gonna say it on here.
It's violence.
Yes, it is because he is Russian. All right.
Okay, good.
No,
as long as we're clear on that.
But I'm a big fan of Nate Diaz just because he hangs out with Shane.
That's true.
And that's put me on to being a fan of his.
All right, so moving on. One of our other sports related segments that we're gonna do, and this is ever evolving thing. We're gonna have a hottest babe in sports contest.
We had 3 segments, controversy being one of them. That's what we just did, which was Kamzat because he's a maniac. So our second segment's babes, sports babes. And so I kind of figured the best way to do this is to do basically like a 16. So you want to do a bracket,
16 babe bracket. And I pick one, and it goes on this side. You pick one, and goes on this side, and then we'll pick who they're matched up against. Or we could put them both on the same side and match them up against each other, and then have a vote.
I think we should do
after we
mine
fill
versus
the bracket.
yours.
Okay.
Oh, we should fill the bracket. But let's say we and you pick one.
Okay.
We'll put that on the bracket, but then we'll fill out the bracket before we.
But the two that we pick each time, are they going to be on opposite sides of the bracket?
No.
They'll be going against each other.
We'll pick
head
one
to
versus
head.
the other. But we won't run the bracket until we fill out the bracket, and then I'll do polls.
Okay.
On my Instagram, or you have more followers. Whoever has more followers. But I'm not going to do that this week because I didn't know that until like 5 minutes before we started this. I will say my sports babe of the episode are the 5 babes that from the Texas Tech Palm cheerleading that made it to the NFL. One of which is an all-star, and I don't want to get your names wrong, so I will say your names. I have your picture pulled up. We have Jordan Groover. She's on the Texans. Erica Weeble. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it.
Erica Weeble.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Reagan Jill. Houston Texans. We have Rachel Alexander. Dallas Cowboys. She's an all-star is what it says. And we have Tori Skillings. She's also a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. So these 5 women were Texas Tech Palm Squad members who are now in the NFL.
Nice.
Those are my babes. This is a one-time deal. Because again, I didn't know. But
we're just making this up as we go.
I wanted to shout out
my
alma mater, Texas Tech.
There you go.
They all made it to the NFL. Also, while I'm at it, remind me after we do this, babes, of the one guy from Tech who's number 1 in the world right now.
Dude, his name, I don't even remember it.
Do you know his name?
He's referring to a member
golfer
of the Texas Tech men's golf team. And I hate to tell Roy this, but his name sounded kind of Russian to me.
He's definitely a foreign guy. I think he's South American.
Okay. We can work with that.
I don't. It's just like with the Chinese. I don't like the Communist Party.
Go to news. Is there a news option?
I'm horrible at Googling.
It's okay. There he is.
Ludwig Hubbard. That's not Russian.
Ludwig.
That's not South American either, though.
Ludwig. Is it German?
I knew he was in the PGA last year. I remember when he was competing.
Ludwig Aberg has ascended to number 1 in the PGA Tour University Velocity Global Ranking. Shout out to you, Ludwig.
He's a Texas Tech student right now. So
I'm an avid golfer, and I hope to be as good as Ludwig one day.
Don't you think that's just kind of like out of the realm of possibility?
No, hell no.
He's PGA number 1.
No, this is university. He's not the best in the whole world out of all the golfers. No,
but still, he's number 1 in school.
For sure.
Fuck it. Who's your babe?
He's balling.
I had to mention him. Who's your babe of the sports babe of the day?
Roy thinks he messed it up, and this is a one-time thing, but it's not because he picked a babe and I picked a babe already. My babe.
Okay, then you want to do that.
My babe's Anna Kournikova. She was a tennis player from the 90s, 2000s. His babe is Danica Patrick.
How do you spell that?
A-N-A. It starts with a K, but that's all I can tell you.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah. So we were deciding what segments to do, and I
go to that first one in the blue where she's hitting the ball. I
just remember.
Oh man, her face looks rough.
That's an ugly picture. So I just remember Danica Patrick with GoDaddy.com. Mm-hmm. I remember that as a child.
Yeah.
And she was like stripping naked and never having.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I just
the only reason why I remember this girl is because I was flipping through the channels. We didn't have cable television back in the day, and tennis was on CBS, and there was a blonde chick in a short skirt, and I was a young boy. And so I learned her name.
With Danica.
She was pretty good though, honestly. She played against one of the Serenas, one of the Williams. One of the Serenas.
They're hot too, though. I think they're hot.
Back in the day, for sure.
The younger one.
Yes.
So we picked another segment, sports movie.
Oh yeah.
That I would encourage people to go watch.
Great sports movie.
I guess this one being like, first of all, the first one we ever did is the all-time movie of all time, The Sandlot.
The Sandlot.
That's my pick. There's nothing.
You have to acknowledge it
as a ball player, because I grew up like that, like playing ball. We just played ball. Yeah, we played baseball all the time in post, and even here, I just loved it.
If you've never seen The Sandlot, then punch yourself in the face and then go watch it.
Yeah, it's a great one. What'd you pick?
My pick is Friday Night Lights.
That's another one that I think. And that fella was here. He's local.
Oh yeah, he's a little bit further south.
I think he just died.
Gaines.
Yeah, did he?
Coach Gaines,
or did he retire? He died. He just died.
Head coach of Odessa Permian.
Rest in peace. And Booby Miles and all those guys.
Yep. So if you've never seen either one of those, then you need to get with the times.
Please go watch them. Those. And if anybody who's listening, we do encourage interactions. Please give us some more segments to do. I'm sure we'll do more because we had like an awkward sports moment. This day in sports.
Yeah, we have tons of ideas.
I'm sure when we condense this one down, it'll be less than an hour. Oh, we're going to try to be less than an hour on these. I wanted to also talk 3 more things I want to talk about that we have on here.
3 more things.
Texas Tech, NC State this Saturday.
Yep.
Number 16 in the country in NC State.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit that Texas Tech didn't get a ranking when those stupid idiots in Austin did. But, I think if they win this game, then they definitely should be top 25.
And we beat a top 25 team last week in Houston. Yeah, that was stupid that they rushed triple overtime.
You guys both went to the game. I didn't want to endure the heat.
So, yeah, Tech's getting tested. And
they've won.
Yeah. Houston's defensive line was killing our offensive line last week. So hopefully,
I saw Houston. I watched some of the game, and I told you because we went to the first game what was going to happen, and they were doing it.
Right.
And the deep ball was killing us. That's another one that was killing us.
Yep.
So you think Tech win?
Man, I really want Tech to win.
This is the one to rush the field if they win.
I just hope that we don't get blown out, to be honest, because this is really the test to see where we stand in terms of like collegiate, rankings. So. I'm not looking for Tech to win. I'm hoping we can just hang with them and make it a good game.
Make it look like we're competitive.
I want it to be competitive.
I want to do a little bit of sports, MLB segments, but right now the only news I have is that the Los Angeles Dodgers
Uh-huh.
are the first team to clinch the NFL. I mean, clinch the playoffs.
Clinch the payouts in baseball.
And they did it against my Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mm.
And the Diamondbacks have a swimming pool in their stadium.
Nice.
And the news was that they had police around around it so that they couldn't go celebrate. It's the only thing I want to talk about. I like Cody Bellinger. I like the Dodgers. When I'm not rooting for other teams, I'll root for the Dodgers. That's the only LA team I'll root for.
Nice.
I really fuck with the Dodgers. And then we have one last one, which was fantasy football.
Yeah.
I'm 0-1 in both of my leagues.
You're 0-1 in both leagues?
But the two games we have this week, both of us are all 0-1, so somebody's going to win their first game of the year.
Yep.
And I'm hoping it's me. I don't know. I got fucked by Kyler Murray and a few running backs. I will say about this fantasy, we did the auction one. That was fun. It was long as fuck, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was tricky.
It was fun. So
I'm 1-0 in both my leagues. I don't know.
I thought I had squad, by the way.
Yeah,
I thought I did.
Too. Roy was projected to be number 1 in the league.
I was projected one in one league, the high dollar league, which I want to win, and then the lower one I was projected 2.
Yep.
And now I'm 4 in both.
Nice.
So,
well, I won and I went down in rankings. I'm projected like last place, second to last place.
I'm projected 4 in both. So I think Ryan's gonna be a tough opponent.
Yeah, definitely.
He's gonna be a tough one to beat.
The returning champ from last year.
He's that motherfucker. So
we're gonna have him on as a guest sometime soon because he knows sports as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to do that segment where we interview a Cowboy fan.
A Cowboy fan, yeah.
Because I can record conversations on the Roadcaster.
Yeah.
And I know a bunch of idiots that are Cowboy fans.
So y'all look forward to our future segment called Disgruntled Cowboy Fans.
Yeah. So that'll be
kind of self-explanatory.
That'll be a fun one. And then,
but I think we did good, dude. We covered everything.
That's what everything we needed to cover.
And the ones that we didn't, it's like they're not happening too soon, so we'll be able to do them next week.
The UFC 280 was the only one, and then
Silva versus Paul. I think that's still a couple weeks out.
That's those are both in October.
Yep.
Hell
October. Yeah. Well, shit. Anybody who's listened, thank you for tuning in to Lawnchair Sports. I'm here with Caleb. I'm sorry. I'm here with Rattlesnake Roy.
Yeah, and if Lawnchair Sports is listening.
Fuck you.
You guys better step up your game because we're about to put out like 50 episodes
before jacked. You better hurry
before
up.
you even fucking come on and do one. We'll do like 50. So I had a good time doing this one. Yeah, man. We might record on the green screen and add some segments here in a minute.
Yeah.
Because we still got to do another podcast after this. If you would please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Snake Pit Rattlesnake Roy. There's some off right there if you need it. Then Pirate Radio, Lords of Film, and The Snake Pit Rattlesnake Roy is the other 3 ones that I would encourage you to listen to, please.
Yeah, I got nothing. That was it.
All right, there you go, guys.
Peace and love.